यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 3 of 16th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Tejaha Kshama Dhrite Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. As we saw, the title of this chapter is Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat. We also saw the meaning of the titles Daiva Sampat and Asura Sampat. Daiva Sampat means good qualities, or we can say spiritual qualities. In other words, also we can take it like a spiritual strength. India is the country which stands with a spiritual power. But India is not a wealthy country like other countries. It's not poor country, even it's growing country now. But India is always a powerful country in spiritual aspects. One should not forget. The strength which we get out of money, out of muscles, there are varieties of strength. Muscle strength. When you have the muscle strength, people who go to gym, they are very confident because they do have a muscle strength. They develop muscles with everyday exercises. Then the second one is money power. That money power, it will go more than the muscles power. It will do lots of things. It will be very convenient to live in this life with having money power. And there is one more power called intellectual power. That how to think, how to make the decision. These things will be done by the people, appropriately done by the people who are very intelligent. Therefore, these three powers are there in the human being. But this power, which is known as a spiritual power, the spiritual power comes with what? With the enlightenment of a person. One who realizes about his own self, then you see the power which comes, that power cannot be beat by any other power of the world. That is the power. We call it spiritual power. So all powers have been listed: Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, Dhanam, Damaha, Yajna, Swadhyaya. All powers are spiritual powers. Bhagavan concludes in these words. He begins with Tejaha. Tejaha means, do you know what? A spiritual person has to be a good person, good at soul. He should be very careful about his own actions which comes from him. And he also should be very careful about the environment where he lives. He should be also awareful with the actions which are performed by the surrounding people. He should be very much alert. Spiritual means complete awareness and alertness. So awareness about complete self and the activities, thoughts, emotions, what is going on with his own body, mind and sense complex. He should be awareful with them. then he should be alert with others' activity too. Then alone he can have spiritual growth properly. That is known as a spiritual smartness. Not becoming victim to his own emotions, at the same time not becoming victim to others' criminal activities, or if at all somebody cheats him, he won't become victim. Therefore, a spiritual person has to be smart enough. This is one meaning, smartness. Another meaning, that Tejas means it's a kind of, it cannot be explained. It's a grace. It's a grace you can just experience when you physically you live with them. That is spiritual grace. Like you can feel the godliness with them. He need not to rule you, but you would like to obey to them. That is what spiritual grace. That is known as Teja. We call it Tejas. Okay. The India is the country where we get all spiritual leaders with this Tejas. India is going to rule the world with this power. The power which is known as Tejas. Still India alone is ruling, but people are not aware. The medias are, because medias are not aware, they are not enlightened people. They don't know how India rules. There are so many things we can tell as the examples. Yoga is ruling entire world. Widely accepted the glory of yoga, and even meditation. The methods of meditations, though they are not complete in that, but it is being accepted a lot. That's what ruling. Ruling means not having violence. So when you want to rule a person using violence, then you are not considered as a human being. Then we become animals. Bhagavan Krishna, who gives always priority to the spiritual power. Even if you are a warrior, if you are backed by the spiritual power, definitely you will achieve victory. You can conquer the world. Like this alone, Pandavas could succeed in their battle. They got victory because only they had spiritual power. Because the army of Duryodhana was bigger than these Pandavas. People, we are born in India. We should know how to develop this power. It comes only when knowledge goes inside. Then the next one is Kshama. Kshama means observing passions. What is that? In the last words, there is one word, Akrodaha. Akrodaha means not becoming victim to anger. Anger management is a very difficult one, because nowadays we undergo lots of pressures. If you are a family person, you get pressure from office, you get pressure from friends, you get pressure from your family members. So all kinds of pressures. Even government also, it brings many rules, so many rules that also it makes you to set a short temper. Akrodaha means not doing harm for others, not becoming victim to your anger. But here, Kshama means not having imsatmakam thought. Not having a thought to harm to the people. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to maintain kshanti. This kshama alone is called kshanti. That peacefulness, that complete tranquility in our psychological level. In order to get this condition, we should have meditation practice. Meditation practice means in the beginning, okay. Then when you understand the knowledge completely, thoroughly, you are able to, if you are able to assimilate it, then whole day is nothing but meditation. There we cannot see overdoing with any activity, and also we cannot see less doing. He will do, a person who is matured in that meditation called nididhyasanam, he will become more matured and relaxed. We can call it cold blood. That's what kshama. Dhritihi means fortitude. Fortitude, actually, Bhashikara gives one more meaning, It is said as a perseverance or willpower. One needs to have more courage than a normal person to conquer his own sense organ. Sense organs brings temptation to our mind. Therefore, we often become victim to the temptations. But this person who manages properly, who can firmly organize and control his sense organs, even the temptations, he won't become victim at all. That's what dhriti is. And also, he fixes the ultimate target. Nobody can shake him. No worldly desires, attraction will attract him. He is an unshaken person. Therefore, dhriti means lagathar, continuously he is withstanding with the sadhanas. That's what is known as dhritihi. Saucham. Saucham means cleanliness. Maintaining physically cleanliness, and in psychological level also, he is very clean. His thoughts, you see, mind is like a land. What you implant, it will come. Therefore, we should know what is to be planted. He will plant a proper thoughts, proper emotions. Therefore, we have to study Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana. So, in order to manage our mind and emotions, because mind needs to have emotions. Without emotions, we cannot live. Emotions are needed for our life. If you remove the emotions, there is no life at all. And many people may think Vedantis don't have emotions. No. You see all the works of our Alvars and Nayanmars. So it's high level, high standard emotions towards God. Now the emotions are shown towards God in order to organize the emotions, in order to organize our psychological system. They use a proper method to get rid of emotions. Therefore, this Vedanta is not a dry philosophy. Many people, we think Vedanta means it says everything is Maya. No, Vedanta says everything is Ishvara. Then Adrohaha. Adrohaha means absence of ill will towards someone. Now, thinking to cheat someone. No, not Adrohaha. I mean the person who is undergoing spiritual sadhanas, he should not become victimized of cheating thoughts. He won't think to cheat others, and he will be very careful. He won't become victim for somebody else who wants to cheat him. That's what adrohaha. Na atimanita. Okay, na atimanita means it's kind of humility. Atimanita means, manita means thinking himself with proudness. I only can do it. Because of me, everything happens. His humility. He will bring Ishvara. So because of Ishvara, everything is done. Though he might have done all those activities to get success in his life, but he would say, he would surrender to the Lord. Because of the grace of Lord alone, I am able to do. Bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. These are all the wealth of the person who is born with Daiva Sampat. Who is born with Abhijatasya Bharata, born with. Now you have a question in your mind. How the person can be born with these qualities? Because not knowing these are all the qualities are required, so how can we define? No, it is said symbolically, it should be practiced for long. If a person who is practicing the last birth itself, he will be born with these qualities. He will select proper things. He will be endowed with the proper emotions. Now you see, if you want to protect yourself, you have to protect yourself from yourself, your mind, I tell you. Bhagavan Krishna also says very carefully in the 6th chapter itself, Uddhared Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Bandhuratmat Manastasya Yenaiv Atmana Jitaha. So, he wants to say, if you want to protect yourself from the world, first you have to protect from your mind. You have to train your mind. Untrained mind becomes a big enemy to you. Anything, if you want to achieve something from a worldly aspect, if you want to get growth in spiritual aspects, your mind has to be trained well. Otherwise, your mind becomes big hindrance to that. That's what Krishna's message it was. Therefore, spiritual means constructing ourselves with good environment, good thoughts, good emotions. These are all very important things. And these sadgunas are introduced now. Now Bhagavan is categorizing now, because Atma Jnana should be practiced with these values. I tell you, these are all called values. And this Abhayam. So we begin with Abhayam, Ahimsa, Tejaha. The first word of these 3 verses. Abhayam means what? Fearlessness. Then Ahimsa means what? Himsa Rahitam, means not doing harmful to others. Okay. Then Tejaha means what? It's a grace. So only these 3 key words, and all other words can be connected with these words. Here Tejaha means that graceness which includes Kshama, which includes Dhriti. Kshama means what we saw? Free from anger. Then fortitude. Cleanliness means purity. Then Adroha means absence of ill will. And Natimanita, humility. Everything is included. This is known as Daiva Sampath. These are all means to practice the knowledge. These are all the way one can reach ultimate things. The path, lifestyle. We have to practice from morning to evening. We have to think, every day before going to bed. We have to think about the day, what and all happened on that day. We have to remember every incident, accidents, and the role which we played, whether we played properly or not. When you recollect them, at that time you may learn so many things. The next day you can set yourself properly with your own life, because situation will keep on changing according to our karma pala. We should set ourselves. We should not lose Daiva Sampath. The life is to be lived with Daiva Sampath. Even after achieving knowledge also, the body, mind and sense complex must be kept or established in these plates. I call it plates, or I call it ground. These are all the ground one can live. All these grounds are regarding psychological aspects. Therefore, we have to be thorough about it. If you want to get ultimate goal, you have to keep in our mind with this Daiva Sampath alone. By this Daiva Sampath alone, one can get the ultimate. That's what. This is enough today. We will continue to the Asura Sampath tomorrow. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.